Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and today Apple released iOS 12 Beta 11 to developers and Public Beta 9 to public beta testers. Now they're the exact same thing, so if you have the public beta or developer beta, it makes no difference. It came in at 78 megabytes for me on my iPhone 10. Now I've installed it on my iPad Pro 12.9 first gen, iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone SE, and iPhone 5S. They all are running the beta software, and we'll take a look at the speed on each of them in a moment. Let's first take a look at the build number. You'll see the build is 16A5365B, and this particular build does not have anything particularly new in it. So there are some changes, I'm sure, as far as bug fixes and security fixes, but according to Apple's notes, there's not a whole lot new going on. So they didn't mention any new resolved issues, so 0 resolved issues, and there's still 16 known issues, and a lot of those affect developers trying to develop. But there is one that stood out to me, and I'm not sure that it's actually something that is new necessarily, but I never mentioned it before. So one of those things is in iOS 12 beta, the camera effects in messages. So if you're in messages, let me show you. Then you go to your camera, you have these effects here. Now these particular effects, you'll see we're pointing back up at the camera, point back down, and you'll see these effects can be applied. So we have a bunch of different effects, whether that be filters or you want to type over it with text, things like that, that is only available on iPhone SE, iPhone 6S or later, and is unavailable on iPad. Whether or not that changes in the final release is hard to say. Also, camera effects like these within FaceTime is only available on iPhone 7 or later, so 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, and 10. Whether or not that makes it to the final version or they make it available for everything is hard to say, but right now that's what it says in the notes, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, as far as speed is concerned with this overall, everything seems to be fast and fluid. 3D Touch is working, swiping between screens, scrolling and different things such as the App Store. Everything's nice and fast, and that carries over to the older devices as well. So if we go to the 5S, we'll go to Music here. I haven't opened music since I rebooted this, but scrolling seems to be really smooth there for a 5S anyway. We'll go into the camera app, see how long that takes. It might be a little bit improved from the previous version. You can snap a picture pretty quickly, but for an older device, I think it's pretty fast as far as that goes. Now, as far as the SE is concerned, if it's fast on the 5S, you can bet it's going to be really fast on the SE. That was pretty instant when we opened the camera, and scrolling is smooth. Let's open music. It's pretty good there. A little smoother than the SE. And then on the iPad, this is a Pro, so it's pretty fast to begin with. But then on the 7 Plus, of course you want to know how Fortnite works, so let me load that up here and make sure it's working just fine for you. It's downloading an update. We'll let it do that. I have pretty fast internet, so it should go pretty quickly. So we're in Fortnite. It's working okay. You'll see it's pretty smooth here. Just waiting to jump out. Let's jump out, and it works as expected. So no issues there. I think we should be good with gaming, and I really welcome all of these different updates because while this is a new record and there's a lot of them, more updates means they're refining things and they're going to fix those bugs that we've had all along. They'll get to the more important things first and then work their way down to the less important things, maybe like some slowness with switches or some brief crashes. There's no new wallpapers in this, and hopefully it fixes that issue where people were having issues with Wi-Fi. The Bluetooth icon does not seem to be a part of iOS 12 anymore, so it looks like they've removed that. And I'll report back in a few days about how it's done with speed, stability, bugs, crashes, all those sorts of things, and battery, of course. Now, I did run a Geekbench on my iPhone 10. I ran it twice, and the scores were not as great as I had thought, 4,182 and 10,289 for multi-core score. So not really as great as I had hoped. I did run it twice, like I said, and you'll see these top two here are what I ran recently, and these are the previous versions. So it goes up and down, give or take a few, but that really doesn't affect performance overall. Now, the other thing is a lot of people want to know when you can get Google Maps and Waze on CarPlay. That won't be available until iOS 12 is released, and then Google can update those apps as they own Waze as well. So they'll update those apps, and then we'll check that out in a separate video. If you'd like to get your hands on the wallpaper, I'll link it in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.